G'day guys, what's cracking? Two Aussie here again. Just going to do a little bit of intro song from The Prodigy for our Saturday Night Live party night. And see who's in here. Pointer, what's cracking? Filet-O-Fish, Philo. Well, I hope it'll be good. Just going to do a little intro song. Hopefully we won't get blocked worldwide. Good to see you, China. Good stuff. Just got to put some gloves on, guys. Tell me what that means, if you know. I will be the fire started soon. Fish. Look at that beauty. What can you do? I'm going to put two together if they're too thin. I probably shouldn't have put them on yet. Just have to wait, Caligula. Get that bloody thing off. Better fish. Come on, dude. So what does this mean? Tell me what that is. I need to know. Calligraphy, I like that. Got some beauties, Peter, I've got to give you that. Alexa, stop. G'day guys, what's cracking? Just thought we'd have a little bit of an intro there. Probably get blocked worldwide, but who cares? So guys, I got a bit of Alexa, stop. That's Alexa, she doesn't listen to me. Urban garlic breadcrumbs and a bit of panko. I wanted to get rid of the panko. So we'll mix these guys together. I'm going to crumb this stuff, this fish, and then I'm going to cook them up. So that's what I got the gloves for, because this stuff will all stick to my hands and then I have to go and wash them, so we'll be right. So what else do I need? Well, I'm going to mix that up first, put it together. G'day Ralph, what's cracking? And how you going, Petey? I saw your comment there, but I just wanted to wait till the music finished. Bit hard to probably talk and listen to the music at the same time. So, who else is here? Caligula, how you going? Nice kitchen, thank you. Evening, Mr. Beard. Guys, I was doing this and it's in the thumbnail. Do you know what that means? Because I just saw it on a video last night and I need to know what that is. If you can tell me. I sort of know. I can't remember what they said in the video, but I don't know if that's a new thing or an old thing. But I need to know if you know. So, a bit of flour. Or maybe a lot of flour. Sonic sign. Well, what I heard was, and I don't know if it's right, that when you do that, believe it or not, it's supposed to be a heart. I don't get it. But anyway, I just thought we'd talk about that, see if anyone knows. Making it from scratch, yes, I'm trying to. The good thing about Filet-O-Fish, there's only 3 ingredients. Fish, tartare sauce, and cheese. So I've got some egg over here. Now, I've got to remember which way. Egg, flour, and then that. Yeah, that's it. So I'm in the right order. Put the gloves back on, that's why I got the gloves. I don't have to wash my hands. 3 ingredients. Pretty simple, eh? Can't get too complicated. What I got too was, I got this, someone suggested that I use the Coles, what's it called? Hamburger sauce. And I got this tartare sauce. And I thought, the other week I was planning on doing this for a few weeks, of course, like I always say, but never get around to it. The good thing I didn't, because I got a Master Food sauce. It was absolute crap. It was tartare sauce. This is the Coles one. It's got a lot of chunky little bits in it. Well, you can see bits in it. So I reckon, and I tasted it a bit. Tastes much better than the Master Foods. Because I've got to make it taste like a fillet of fish up to a point. It's not going to be exact fillet of fish, but it'll be good. Just mix that up a little bit more. Already I'm getting crap everywhere. That's alright. Coles burger sauce. Yeah, I know. I mean, if you like that Big Mac taste, or yeah, I reckon it tastes a bit like it, but yeah, I haven't been eating it again lately because I'm getting a bit over it myself too. This is quite a chunky piece, this one, I like it. So what I'm going to do too is, cook them on the burner, of course, on the gas burner, I've got it there. But if they're a bit thin for the burger, because I've got quite a few bits there, I'll I'll put them a double, and then we'll make it look like a thicker patty. But anyway, guys, it's not about really trying to do a fillet of fish. It's about making a fish burger, and it should taste good. But I'll stick with the 3 ingredients: just the fish, the cheese, and the, what's the other one? Tartare sauce. That's the one. Our timers is really kicking in tonight, Peter. It's been one of those days. It's been actually a good day. I'm really happy tonight. Very content and happy and having a great time. Got a few things done today, so I'm pretty happy. No egg yolk. It's all in there. The whole egg's in there. Now that's a thin ass piece, but well, that's alright. So anyway, let's get that in there. And if I don't end up, I'm not going to probably eat all this fish, but I'll cook it all up anyway. There's the good piece. I like that one. I'm going to use that one first when I make a burger. That's a beauty. So this is hokey fish anyway, so I wasn't going to go out and buy barramundi just for a fillet of fish. But I thought too, I actually went to KFC today. I was saying last night that I'm going to try and do that video about the bucket for one, which I was pretty happy with. Got it done today. I won't be posting it for a few days because I've got another one I've got to post before that. But very happy. Had a great KFC lunch. But I wanted to do this too because I don't eat much fish and it's nice. I like fish, so it's good. As long as it's not raw. I don't like sushi and stuff. I'm not keen on that. But a bit of fish, love it. Fillet of fish, very good. It was good. I quite liked it. And I actually didn't eat all the chicken in it, but and I kept the potato and gravy, but you never know. I might do another video with the potato and gravy like I normally do. But I was quite full after. It was like more than enough for one for me. So that's a little piece, but it's in there, so I might as well cook it. I got to tell you guys, I could have done this first and oh, look at that, it's just all falling apart. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I could have done this first and just got it all ready, but I just thought, let's stay in here, have some fun. Doesn't matter how long the live goes for. Well, for me anyway, for you it might, but for me it doesn't. I'm happy to stay here for an hour and a half, 2 hours, however long it takes. But I've been wanting to do that bucket for one for a few weeks again, and I haven't had a chance to do it, but I ordered a little something that I wanted to include in the video, and it didn't turn up yet because I thought later on I wouldn't mind adding that to the video, so you'll see that. Actually, I've done a video about what I bought, and then I've used it in the video for the bucket for one. So, you know what? Doing all this, I think I'm doing it wrong. I'm supposed to do flour first, then egg. Like, seriously, I haven't crumbed anything for a while. Did anyone pick up on that? Flour first, then egg, I think. I don't know. Anyway, as long as the crumb sticks on there, that's all that matters. Oh, there's one little piece. Well, let's try it that way. Flour first. Let's see if it works. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you're supposed to do it. I haven't crumbed anything for a while. So, but like I said, guys, it's nothing serious. We're always just mucking around here. I don't really care if it works out or not. As long as it tastes alright, that's all that matters. There we go. I think that was the right way, that one. At least one will be right. The smallest, shittiest piece. It seems to be sticking now. Maybe I should do it again. Go through them all and do it again. Let's see what happens. Let's do a double coating. Let's see if that works. That could work, you know. Let's try it. It's going to be a hell of a mess, that's for sure. Yeah, that's good. Look at that. Oh, I figured out something good there. There you go. Double coating. Beautiful. That's why I got the gloves, because look at all that crap all over with me. I don't want to wash my hands. I'll just take it off and then we're good to go. So let's do it all again. Like I said, I don't care how long this takes. Saturday night, party night. As long as you guys aren't in a hurry, neither am I. Well, now they're going to not look like thin pieces of fish, are they? They're going to look pretty chunky. Just add lots of crumb on them. That's beautiful. I'm loving that. Oh, that one fell apart. I did it again. I did it again. Doesn't matter. Do it again. Chuck it in there. There we go. It's going to be like best crumb fish ever. Pretty happy with that. Anyway guys, I had a really good day. I went out and did my video. I did another one yesterday. I feel like I'm loaded up for the week. I got all these videos going. And it's been fun. Had a great day today. I hope you guys are all enjoying your weekend. I know I am. Oh well, it'll end up sushi. It's not too bad, it's not too thick. But it'll look better anyway, if I ever get to cook it the way I'm going. So, there's no egg left in there, so I'll just leave those bits like that. I may not even cook them. So, we're right now. Take the gloves off. There we go. Nice clean hands. There goes the microphone. It's all happening. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of all this. I'll just chuck all this behind me for now. Sort it out later. Man, I've really made a mess there. Chuck that one in there. I'll cook them slow, we'll see how it goes. Now, I don't know, one of you guys who's here now might have commented to me before when I did the pimped out fillet-o-fish, and I actually knew it when I did it. But if you go to Macca's and if you look at what's actually on the fillet-o-fish, they only put a slice of cheese. They don't put a whole slice. So, and I actually knew that before I got that comment because I'd gone in there and tested out what I could do with a fillet-o-fish to put extra on it. If you wanted to put extra, well, it said what was on it, and it actually said half a piece of cheese. So that's what I'm going to have to use tonight, half a piece of cheese. Hopefully that's on properly. Okay. We don't want melted cellophane. Yeah, actually I think it was 50 cents. That was just a rip-off. 50, everything I put on there, like, it was fillet-o-fish, so it had no lettuce, no tomato. So I put on lettuce, tomato, and bacon. The bacon cost $1. The lettuce and tomato, just for a slice of tomato, cost 50 cents. They were both 50 cents each. So that was a bit of a rip-off. And I thought because fillet-o-fish aren't very big buns and they look a little bit that colour, I've got a few little brioche buns. I better turn this down. And cook very low. I've got a few brioche buns. I think I actually squashed them a bit, but they'll be alright. And because they're only little brioche buns, we can put half a piece of cheese on. All out on the brioche bun. ones. It's just Aldi crap. So, but I like them. I've tried them before. So, as usual, I've never done this before. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I've crumbed things before. But like, if you saw what I was just doing, then I got it wrong. So, but then it's fixed now. But like I say, guys, it's only a bit of mucking around, a bit of fun on a Saturday night. Got nothing else to do, so why not do this? Well, I don't know, but I would add tomato to any burger, even a chicken burger. I love tomato on burgers. I love it. So, let's put that over there for now. Actually, we might need a bit of that because with the crumbs, it's good to have lots of butter on it. Yeah, I thought I was smart taking the gloves off. Now I'm going to get it all over my hands again, aren't I? Man, that's like full on crumbs on there. That's alright. I shouldn't have chucked them on top of each other. Oh, that's my beauty. I need that one to cook good. Put him. Okay. Paper towel. So anyway, guys, like I was saying, I did the KFC bucket for one today. And I really liked it. It was a great meal. I ended up keeping a piece of chicken because I couldn't eat it all. It looked like it was going to be a fail because they reckon they burned everything, and then when I got it, it was okay. So everything was as it should be. So that was good. Post that in a couple of days. Actually, I saw something last night about Kim Jong-un on the news, so I don't know what was going on there. So that might need to go a little bit higher, but not much. It's not really doing much. I should keep this handy because I just didn't want it to drip everywhere. Don't forget this, guys. It's saying 12 people watching, and all I'm seeing is 4 thumbs up. If you don't like it, that's fine. Don't give me a thumbs up, but if you do, please do. I have actually thought about getting an air fryer because I do watch people's videos and I'm subscribed to people who do cooking, and air fryers seem to be becoming a big thing. I don't know if they ever were before, but yeah, air fryer sounds like a good idea. But then I talked to someone about it the other day and they said, oh, I wouldn't like chips in it because of this and because of that. It's like, well, it sounds like it's more healthy for you too. Thanks, dude. Always good to see. G'day, Riley Weaver. Thanks for popping in. See you next time. I might do something tomorrow during the day, like around 2, 3 o'clock. We don't know. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. But, well, we might catch you then. I might be cooking a leg of lamb. I'm not sure yet. Actually, what I should do, I'll get that butter. We want that golden brown buttery thing. Oh, look at that. That's not very good. That one probably won't be going on the burger. Put him over the side. The good thing about this being so wide is that in the middle it's going to cook, and then you can just put things on the outside because it'll be hot, and it'll just keep them nice and warm until you need them. So let's do some more butter. See you, Riley. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I know I go into people's lives too and I don't think to do it, but it's always nice. Until I hear someone say it and then I go, oh yeah, thumbs up. Good idea. I need lots of butter with these burgers, or with these fish. You know, if it ends up a bit not too cooked, it's just right, I'll be okay with that. Doesn't have to be overdone. So guys, did you like the Prodigy for a change? You know, you probably know I listen to a lot of heavy metal stuff, but I'm pretty open. I like Prodigy, stuff like that, all different sort of things, but mostly heavy metal. Filet-O-Fish. I'll tell you what, when the weather warms up, which is a while off, Aussie will be going fishing, and we'll be doing videos of it. Might not catch anything, but we'll do some cooking while we're fishing, me and Liam if we get there, maybe his mate, and we'll be doing a few fishing videos with food involved, because there's got to be food. Whether we cook the fish or not, that's another thing. Well, I've got to say, it was a mistake chucking everything on top of each other in there, but that's a nice piece too. I actually think that one and that one will be my burgers, because I'm not going to eat too many burgers, but I do want to cook the whole lot too. Thanks, see you next time. Chris, so, do I like camping? Oh, years ago, like of course when I was younger, like most kids do, I joined the Scouts and all that sort of thing. I used to love that sort of thing. It was such fun. And I don't mind getting it if I got out there and you know you don't have a shower for a couple of days and just cook for yourself and fend for yourself. That's good. I like it, but not something I do anymore. But who knows? It could happen. We could do a little camping video. I haven't got a tent and all that stuff, so that's the main reason why not to do it. I haven't done it. Should have really watched that one, shouldn't I? I think I had it up too high before. Anyway, yeah, I like that, but we go to a place, me and Liam sometimes, we've discovered a couple of years ago, and it's a pretty out of the way place. Hardly anyone out there, hardly anyone lives there, and there's no phone reception or anything. But I tell you, it's on the Hawkesbury River, and we get a few fish out there, if we catch them, if we're having a good day. We've caught a few good sized bream. I caught a fantastic leather jacket there a couple of years ago. Not leather jacket, sorry, flathead. It was about 15 inches long. Not the biggest one ever caught, but it was good to catch. That one I did bring home and ate it. Usually I won't, because I couldn't be bothered scaling and all the rest of it. But yep, we'll be doing it. Caravans are good stuff, especially if it's raining, you've got the annex and all that. I used to like doing that sort of thing too. Or if you can afford it, to go to a caravan park and stay in a cabin, but they're very expensive these days. I used to do it years ago when it started to become a thing, but nowadays it's very expensive. Yeah, well, even that, we might go camping one day, and it's probably good. It's good to camp in a caravan park too, where the tents are, because you can always go off, have a shower, use barbecues, all that sort of thing. Hop down, go down the beach, do a bit of fishing. It's all good. I never did much of that sort of thing with my family, but as I got older, I actually did it quite a lot myself. And then I've never really done it with Liam, maybe a couple of times when he was younger, but yeah, it's always fun to go off camping and do that sort of thing, especially when you get good weather. So even though these are cooking very slowly, you can already see I almost burnt some because I had it up too high. But I'll pick out the good ones and make some burgers soon. What am I doing here? I'll tell you, this is going to be one of my messiest lives, but it's worth it to cook up something nice and have a good feed and see you guys. Don't make beaches like they used to. Oh, that's a good idea. Succulent. It will be succulent because I'm cooking it very slowly. Probably should get some cheese ready, some half slices of cheese. So I was going to do that on the chopping board before I got rid of it, but anyway. And you know, because most burgers, they get, what's it called? Lettuce on them. And I'm getting all this ready before, and I set a timer, so I'm like, oh shit, I've got to hurry up. And I went to grab the lettuce out of the fridge thinking I needed lettuce, and I'm like, what am I doing? Filet-O-Fish, I don't need lettuce. So, see if I can cut that in half. That's pretty close. Chuck it over there. I'll do a couple of pieces for when I need it. I'm really looking forward to trying this sauce though. I think it's going to be the best one. Like I said earlier, the other one I had, Master Foods, didn't taste like much of anything. So, yep, just plain Coke. So, if you were here in the beginning and you heard me playing that song, The Prodigy, and on Saturday nights when I've done this lately, I get quite a few people in here, and I get very good view time. Not the only reason why I'm doing it, because I'm doing it on a Saturday night because I can. I usually work at night, and Saturday's a good time. That's why I guess people are in here doing, like, in the live. But the last few, I did one the other night, and I was playing bass guitar at the end, but I had some music going, and everything lately, because I wanted to experiment, everything lately that I've put music in, or like now I put music, I don't know what's going to happen with this one. I'm hoping it doesn't get blocked, but I had one a while ago that got blocked and you can't even watch it. But anyway, all the lives that I've put music in, they've been copyrighted. So because I'm not making any money out of them, it's okay. I can leave it there unless I want to dispute it. But if I was making money on these lives, the ones that had the music that have been copyrighted, the record companies would be taking the money for it. So that's okay because I'm not making any money yet, so it's worked out okay. So they're not going to take any money off me, nothing's going to happen. But the thing is, they're staying up and people can still view them because I haven't disputed or anything, and the record companies haven't said that they want to shut it down either. But I did get one blocked when I first started this channel, and that's what I was worried about. So anyway, hopefully, because it can get completely blocked or it can get partially blocked, so hopefully this one won't, because I played The Prodigy, but we'll see. So anyway, I'm jabbering along, people are commenting. How you going, Gary? Sorry, Gary. Glenn F, sorry. Well, the other thing with saying that I need a whole cheese slice, I've got to say though, these brioche buns probably aren't bigger than a Filet-O-Fish one. Let's test it out anyway while we're waiting. And if it turns out, oh yeah, you're probably right. We should have just kept them a full one. Well, I can always put them back together, can't I? So, even though I bought a Filet-O-Fish the other week, I checked out the way it goes because I want to do it the right way. Well, you know, try to. So, cheese first, fillet, and then this stuff, tartare sauce. Good thing you pointed that out, Peter. I don't know what I'd do without you sometimes. Always be in my lives because I need your help. So I'll chuck that on there. Anyway, it still fits as a whole slice. Actually today when I was having the thingo, what's it called? Our timer's kicking in again. Bucket for one. I ate it in time lapse because otherwise it would have been sitting there forever. But I made a little burger out of it's got a bun with it, bread roll. I made a little burger out of that. I got to tell you though guys, it doesn't matter whether it's bucket for one or what it is. If it's got a chicken fillet in it, they are so small. But saying that, the original chicken, actual bone chicken, not boneless, was actually quite big and it was beautiful. It was good to have something that wasn't too spicy. It wasn't spicy at all. Well, there you go. Gary's your dad's name. Nice, Gary. Yep, that's the way it goes. The thing is, that's why they've left these on, even though when I eventually get monetized, people won't be watching those videos because they're so far back. But even if one person watches it and makes some money, they'll claim it. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't really care. But when I start to get monetized, I probably won't put music on at all. It's just ridiculous now. It's not like I'm using the music because I'm trying to gain something from it. I'm just putting it in to make it interesting, to, you know, a bit of fun. That one won't cook if it's like not sitting on the burner, will it? That one had something under it and it wasn't cooking. So anyway, okay, things are heating up here. Like I said, I want to cook these other little bits because I've actually got some salad there. I was going to do a video with Liz tonight and maybe make some tofu and salad, but she couldn't make it, so I might eat the bits of fish with the salad. I've got a Caesar salad kit that I'm going to eat. So you never know. I might just sit here one night live and just eat the Caesar salad and the fish in a couple of nights. Who knows? Maybe play some guitar. Yeah, be careful, Caligula. He might get you. So, what was I going to say? I've got nothing much to say actually. Guys, no one's answered my question. What does this mean? What is that? Tell me what you think that is. That symbol. I wouldn't mind 1 million views. That'd be pretty good. You have to let me in on your secret. Big heart. That's it. Very good. I was watching someone's video. I forget his first part of his name, but it was something Wolf. And he was going through last night. The one I watched, he was going through. He's American, I'd say. He's with his friend. Going through the Burger King drive-through. They went through 100 times and just ordered stuff. But once they had enough food, what they did was they gave it to some people who are less. They were going to give it to people who were less fortunate, like homeless and that. But it turned out the person they were going to give it to, who would have redirected the food to people who needed it, wasn't there today. So he took it to their friends and all this sort of thing. But it's a brilliant video. It made me laugh. I couldn't believe it. It was just so funny. But they were going through this drive-through 100 times, and then once they got to 100, they got their mate to come, and they swapped cars, and they were in the back seat, and the guy pulls up, because these people knew they were coming, and then this guy pulls up, they pulled up with the guy who ordered the stuff, and they're in the back seat, and they paid for it, and the manager was there, like, again? Who's that? Oh, Caligula, sorry. Yeah, Caligula, I watched that one where the girl's boobs were bouncing like she was flexing them, and I showed a fella at work, and he said, "Oh, no, 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 I like little ones more than that. I don't like the big ones." So I said, "I'll find you some little ones." He's like Asian. He's Asian. I don't know where he's from, but he was funny. I showed him that video. I showed a few people that I work with that video. That was good. He was a good sort too. So, am I going to be game enough to eat this now? Is it cooked? I suppose there's one way to find out. I'll chop this one that isn't that big. Let's see how it goes. So what I wanted to do too was, I actually had, you probably saw that one I threw away. I had some panko crumb that I hadn't been using, and I bought this one the other week at Aldi, of course. Most of this stuff's from Aldi except for the cold sauce. But that one's herb and garlic, and I thought that could come in handy for something. I bought it a few weeks ago, and then it looks like it has. So I wanted to do a combination and get rid of the panko rather than throwing it out. And then I thought, I could, that herb and garlic tastes pretty good, so I'll do a combination. So we've got panko and herb and garlic combination, and we've got to find out what it's like. Ain't bad. Hokey fish, not bad. Not much of a flavour, but it's not too bad. I did think about putting some chilli in it, like in the crumbs, but I thought I've had enough chilli lately, and today was good. Like I said earlier, I didn't have to eat anything that was too hot or spicy, because a lot of times if I'm doing KFC, I'm doing hot and spicy type stuff. So I'm not expecting this to taste like a fillet of fish. That's one of my favourite burgers, but it'll be good. Tartare sauce might jazz it up a bit. So I'll turn that off. Yeah, I've got to figure out how I'm going to do this. I might just chuck them all back in there. And then take them out as I need them. Because I want to get rid of this out of the way. I've got to tell you, this is going to be one of my biggest videos where I have to clean up afterwards. So maybe I'll make a video and do a clean with me video afterwards and see how you like that. Probably not. It might not happen until tomorrow. I've got to say, guys, I know in the past we've talked about I'm up late, I'm cooking late and all that sort of thing. I'll tell you one thing, I'm not up late bloody cleaning, that's for sure. That happens the next day. Cleaning is not one of my favourite things. I don't have any beetroot at the moment, and the last time we made a burger, I don't think I had any beetroot either, but the thing is, I like to have beetroot on a burger, I quite like it, but if I open a tin of beetroot, then I don't end up, I don't end up eating the rest, so it's probably a good idea if I don't buy it. But if it's summer, I'll make salads and stuff, so that's good, I will end up using it, but at the moment, probably not. I might eat those little bits while I'm thinking about what I'm going to do. Finch and chimps, nice one. So, that's alright, that's nice. That's quite good, I like that. Maybe I will do some fish and chips one day like that. Get this crap out of the way. That's going to be quite hot, so I've got to be careful. Get rid of that. Okay. Beautiful. So, looks like we've got a bit of a crowd in here at the moment. And what I wanted to say was, if we got a few people in here tonight like this, guys, I know that you're not commenting and you don't have to, that's fine. There's only a few people commenting at the moment, and I appreciate that too. But if you're there and you want to just say, hi, how you going, g'day, it'd be great to hear from you and know who's there, because, you know, it's just interesting. You don't have to, of course. Or maybe you can see if you know what that means. I can't get off this. I just can't get off it. I'm watching it on that video and the guy goes, his mate goes, what is that? And he goes, it's a heart. And I thought, are you serious? It's not a heart. It's just bullshit. But it was funny though. Okay, here we go. Ryan Smith, how you going, mate? Good to have you here again. I think, was that you that last night when I did the live made a comment saying that the audio was a bit softer than usual? And I said that I had turned it down a bit before I started, so this time I actually turned it back up again. Look at that one. 3 ingredients, here we go. Now, before I started, okay, well I did turn it down a couple of notches. It's probably a good thing you mentioned that, because it was in my head today when I did my video. I used this mic and I made sure I pumped it back up again 2 notches. G'day Melanie, how you going? Fillet of whale we're having apparently, according to Peter. But that is a fillet of whale, that one. Yeah, they do look pretty good, but the thing is, I said about the crumbs, I tried a little bit of them, the crumb it's not giving me much, but the fish is actually quite good, so it's got a good flavour so far. Now, I don't actually like to advertise for Coles because Aldi is my favourite. Aldi, I couldn't find any tartare sauce over the last couple of weeks because I had planned this for a while. It's a matter of doing it then. This one, it is a Coles one, like their burger sauce. And I'm actually going to put a heap on because I looked at just to make sure, I looked at the picture of the Filet-O-Fish on the McDonald's website or on their app. And this stuff's oozing out the sides. Whether that's true or not, and that's how you do it. But I'm going to find out. So when I put that bun on top, hopefully it's going to ooze out to the sides. And then it's going to look like a hardcore fillet of fish. And if I've got it wrong, then I'll make another one later and have less sauce. So here we go. This is what we've all been waiting for. Well, I know I have. It's not really going to ooze out the sides though, I don't think. Oh, yeah, a little bit. I'll show you the good angle. No, we've got to put more than that. That's not good enough. I'll tell you, I'd love you all to be here and I'll cook for you, but I don't have enough buns for a start. There's plenty of fish though. Now I can't get that off. It is like a Macca's burger, look at that. I think the trick is to put it on the side, and then it looks like there's more in there. Now I can't get it out. I've used that much, I can't believe it. Put it on the side like that. See if that works. There you go. Oi! Wasn't expecting that, obviously. Okay, let's do it like that, and then we've got to make it look so good. That's how you do it. False advertising, see that? There you go, guys. Some false advertising. Beautiful fillet of fish. I'm going to sit here, stand here. I'm not standing here. I'm not standing. I'm sitting. I'm sitting very low too. I'm going to hold that there for about 2 minutes, and hopefully I'll get a thumbnail out of it. I should be doing this for 2 minutes too, because I've got to think about this at the moment. I can't get over it. Alright guys, that's our fillet of fish, nice and juicy, looking so good, and I hope it was worth the wait for you and for me. I'm not really going to stay there for 2 minutes, but you know, Melody, that was so funny because I keep away from Katoomba. I went the other way. And even when I got up today, I never thought about it, but I actually used to work on Saturday, and it was on every year, and last year they cancelled the Winter Magic Festival here, and I thought that it was cancelled for good. I think it wasn't viable, whoever was promoting it and all that sort of thing, and they started it again this year. So if they had stopped it, you wouldn't have run into it. You gave me a good laugh there, but I keep away from Katoomba as well. I went the other way to Lithgow and went to KFC and did a video of the bucket thing, one bucket for one. But this is so funny. I used to have to always go to work early to make sure, not to get a spot because I used to park underneath, but there used to always be spots there on the shopping centre, but just to get through all the traffic and all the hold-ups and all that sort of thing, you have to leave 10 minutes early to go to work. So anyway, I better eat this, eh? I'll start with the little one. I've got to say, trying to put so much tartare sauce on there to make it look good is a bit overpowering, but it's not bad. Also, I forgot to do it, but I was going to just whack the buns on the top of the burner just to heat them up a bit, but that's alright. They're pretty good. Well, it's actually dripping off, and if I make another one, I won't need to put any tartare sauce on. I'll just scoop it off there. It's not bad though. It probably is a bit much sauce though. I shouldn't have done that. I was just mucking around with it. But I'm happy enough. Yeah, and again, these buns are from Aldi. And a while ago, they seem to not have them when I go there now. They used to have two types, the same brioche bun like this, but with sesame seeds on it. And I got them before. But now every time I look, they haven't got the sesame seeds. Not that I would have bought them for this. And these are good. They look like a good bun for a fillet of fish. Anyway, that's not bad. Feral Fest. That's exactly what they call it. You did. And actually, I don't know if you were with us last night, but they, I said that I might be doing something with Liz tonight, maybe some sort of vegan thing. And what happened was she was supposed to do something else with a friend. Didn't happen. But then another person, a friend of hers, a girl, said, oh, she wanted to go out to some place while Winter Magic Festival was on. But Liz didn't have to drive, so she thought, that's all right, you won't have to look for parking. But she's gone out with her tonight. That's why she's not here. But something at Winter Magic, so. Yeah, I've seen them at Coles too. They look the same. They're the same size, same sort of thing. But because I'm usually shopping at Aldi and doing my main shop, that's why I just grab everything. So anyway, that's not too bad. I might take some of that sauce off the next one though. And also that fish is from Aldi. I bought a big bag of hoki that's skinless and no batter or anything, just normal plain fish. It's actually a pretty good taste. I like the fish. I've got to say, that's not bad. Even though that fish looked a bit overdone, like too thick in the end when I double crumbed it, but it's come out good. I'm glad I did it now. Good thing I made a mistake and fixed it. Uh-oh. Oh, that's okay, Melanie. I just wasn't sure if you were in there because when I said earlier, there's a few people in here, and if you want to make a comment, just say hi or whatever. So it was the same last night. I mean, a couple of people were commenting, and even when I finished up, there was like 7 or 8 people there. It's nice to know who's there if they want to say hi or whatever. Double crumb, yeah, that's the way to go. Sometimes that's a good thing about doing live. If you stuff up, you got to try and fix it, and it's more fun, really. Like if I was doing that as a video and I thought, oh, damn, I got it wrong, I could just stop the video or do it again another time. But when you do it live, you get what you get and don't get upset. So, how am I going to get this bloody stuff off? Actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave it because that one's a bigger one. That should be alright. Well, like I said, it doesn't taste exactly like a fillet of fish, and I never expected I would do that. Don't forget to turn the camera off. It doesn't taste exactly like a fillet of fish, but I like fish. I like burgers, so it's come out alright. That's quite good. Can't really taste much of the crumb. I'm going to have a bit on its own, the thinner piece. That'll be cooked pretty good. got a bit of a taste, but I can mostly taste the fish, which is probably a good thing. The fish is nice. So guys, if you've seen any of my videos lately, if you've been there at the end, I mean, I don't expect people to watch from the beginning to the end, but at the end, I just bought a bass guitar a couple of weeks, or last week actually, last Saturday. I've had it for a week. Haven't played guitar for years, and I never used to play bass much anyway. I used to play just 6 string, but got a bit of an idea how to play, but it's been a long time, and I've been mucking around trying to play it, and it's not going that great. And I did a couple of lives where I played a bit at the end, but I'm not going to play it tonight because I haven't been practicing, and it would be horrible. But I will get back to that, and that's why I was saying earlier that the lives have been. Just give me a sec. Unlike some people, I don't like to burp on camera. And I think it's to me, I mean, I know some people like it. It gets lots of views, but to me, it's gross. Anyway, so I haven't been practicing much. I've only had it for a week, and then I've got other things to do, so it's hard to fit it in. I'm not planning on being a professional guitarist. I just thought I could add it on the videos sometimes. Maybe sometime I'll play it in the beginning when I ever get around to practicing. But tonight I won't be doing it because I haven't practiced, and it's pretty bad at the moment. So I've got to do more practice. Yeah, Metallica's good, but even that, I actually that Prodigy stuff. I played the Prodigy a song of theirs, and I like the sound. And I was trying to practice a little bit before I started, but I'm going to give it a go. Anyway, yeah, there'll be more on. Now, I hadn't listened to them much lately either until I did that video with the For Whom the Bell Tolls with the clown face and all that. But I actually been getting right into Ronnie James Dio at the moment because I didn't realise because I've got Spotify and I paid premium on there, so I can look at anything, and I've uploaded it, downloaded it, whatever you do, everything. Um, but I've been looking at Ronnie James Dio, and I used to have a few of his albums, but I stopped buying them years ago. I didn't realise he made a few more before he died. And on Spotify, there's a part, if you look at the artist and then scroll down, or up, whichever way you want to say it, and there's a part called discography. And I didn't realise, I'm looking for these albums that I found on YouTube of Ronnie James Dio, and if you press on discography, pretty much all of his albums come up. So I've been going crazy lately just listening to his albums on Spotify. I love his stuff. And if you don't know who Dio is, he used to be once upon a time in Black Sabbath when Ozzy Osbourne got the sack, and then Ozzy Osbourne came back again. But and same with Ozzy. I love Black Sabbath Ozzy stuff with Ozzy in it, and I like Ozzy as a solo artist. Some of his stuff is fantastic. So I've been sort of listening to a lot of Black Sabbath lately, even though I've always liked them. But stuff I've discovered recently on Spotify that I didn't know about. And also both versions. I'm listening to Ozzy in Black Sabbath, Dio in Black Sabbath, Ozzy on his own solo, Dio solo. And Dio actually used to be the singer in Rainbow before all this started with Black Sabbath and all that. And he used to be in there with Richie Blackmore from Deep Purple. I learned so much about this stuff. I'm not that into Deep Purple anymore, or Rainbow doesn't really do it much for me, even though it's Ronnie James Dio singing. I love his voice, but the style doesn't suit me, my sort of taste. But Ronnie James Dio, love his stuff, and the Black Sabbath stuff. Well, if you look up, even if you look up Black Sabbath, look up an album called, what's it called? The Mob Rules, and that will have Dio on it. When Ozzy, I mean, I've gotten into this a little bit recently. Ozzy Osbourne, of course, was the original singer, and there was a bit of trouble. The band got rid of him. I think that too much was going on with him. Like, I won't go into that. But they got rid of him, and Dio came in, and Dio made a couple of albums. I'm not sure how many, but a couple at least. There's one called Computer Crimes, I think it's called. I found that, and there's another one. Oh, Heaven and Hell, that's Dio in Black Sabbath. Look up Heaven and Hell, that's a fantastic album. And then once you find all that stuff up, just look up Dio. He called the band Dio His name's Ronnie James Dio, but the band's called Dio. So look it up, you'll love it. Deep Purple, I listened to them a little bit last night, but Heaven and Hell rings a bell. Look it up because many years ago I found it and someone actually put it on a cassette for me, and that's when I first heard of Dio, but I didn't realise later on that he made some albums too, and he's made some fantastic albums. I even saw a thing where he said when Black Sabbath got rid of him and took Ozzy back, how he said an interview where he said they were stupid because we could have had the best band ever in the world, if you like, as far as heavy metal goes, and I totally agree with him. They were making some fantastic stuff, and there was more to come. So he went on solo and made his own stuff, and it's just as brilliant as anyone else could make. So look him up. He's fantastic. I've been listening to him all the time. I was even listening to him before I started the live. I can't get off it. Especially because I found all these things I didn't know of his, these albums. More recent. He's passed away now, but there was more recent ones up to about 2000 or something like that. Anyway, I've promoted someone who's dead now, but, you know, it's still fantastic music. Anyway, this is getting a bit cool. I probably should chuck it in the microwave, but let's get into it. Before I even started on that burger, I had a feeling that was going to go all over me. Yeah, well, when I was growing up, actually, my thing, I didn't really know about a lot of these bands. I did listen to Deep Purple. I liked a lot of Aussie stuff then. I can't stand Australian music now. I think it's absolute crap. But I used to listen to the Angels, um, AC/DC, even AC/DC, even the older stuff I'm not that mad about now. But back in the day, I loved it. But Deep Purple, I hate country. I'm not mad about country either. Where I work, they have the radio going, and some of these ridiculous country songs come on. And then they even play bloody Billy Ray Cyrus, Achy Breaky Heart. It's like, come on, man. My father used to listen to country music, and I was okay with listening to his stuff. It was a bit different to some of the stuff you listen to now. It was older stuff like Glenn, what was his name? Although Johnny Cash, stuff like that, I didn't mind that. I would listen to that a bit if I had to, but I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to it either. I don't mind Johnny Cash, but I do like a variety of music, but my main thing is heavy stuff, especially 80s, 90s, that sort of thing. Guns N' Roses, Slash's newer stuff, like when he's gone on his own. I love all that stuff too. Man, this is a messy burger. Yeah, Guns N' Roses, I'll tell you, when Appetite for Destruction came out, that album, I listened to that for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I couldn't get that bloody, I had a cassette of it in those days when it came out. I couldn't stop listening to it. I just absolutely loved it. I listened to to it that much that I probably wouldn't listen to it now because it's just, I wore it out. That's a good thing with Spotify though. I mean, I pay like, I think $11.99 a month for premium. No ads, no nothing, and I can just pretty much get anything. I love it. Uh-oh. Tell you, that's got to be the messiest burger I've ever had. I shouldn't have put that extra sauce. It still tastes good, but it's all over the place. I'll tell you guys, when I was out getting my KFC today doing my video, and on the way back it was getting a little bit dark. Well, starting to get dark. Yeah, it's alright, I'll eat it all. Doesn't matter. thanks for your advice anyway, Peter. Like I said, I don't know what I'd do without you, but thanks. I'm actually quite enjoying it, even though there's too much sauce. It's just going all over me. That's the problem. So I was out doing my KFC video, and I had to do a bit of travelling to get there because I don't have a KFC close to me. And on the way back, I took my chainsaw with me, and I thought, and don't worry, I didn't kill anyone. It's on the way back. I thought I'll stop off at a spot where I think there's a bit of firewood, and I'm chopping some firewood. But because I wasn't home most of the afternoon, and it's bloody freezing here at the moment, the last couple of days, and I didn't put the fire on today. And I came home, and it was pretty cold. Even my cat, I couldn't believe the blanket on the bed was folded over like when I got up, and she got under there. She had just a head sticking out. She was cold. I left her in. So anyway, I put the fire on when I came home, and it's taken so long to get warm because it's so cold in here, but it's got warm now. But it's getting to a stage now, I can feel it cooling down because the fire's dying down. So as soon as I'm finished here, the first thing I'm going to do is run out the back, get some firewood and chuck it on the fire and pump it up. Hello Danny G, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Sometimes I see people's comments, but I've got a mouthful and I don't want to talk while I'm eating. It wouldn't be pretty. We made a bit of a fillet-o-fish burger. This is probably the biggest fillet-o-fish burger ever made. It's such a thick piece. But it cooked up alright and I'm enjoying it. But I think that'll be the last one I have. It's pretty good. Got a bit of tartare sauce, cheese, fish. I crumbed the fish. Not we, there's no one else here. Where are you, Peter? 6.5. I looked at my phone, my crapple phone. It is quite good. Sydney subs subs reminds me of subbing to YouTube. Sydney suburbs. Well, you know where I am, up near Katoomba. I'm a bit past, so actually yesterday, I went out, and I don't get up too early. Most of you guys know that. I got up about 10:30, which was early for me. I was trying to get up, go and do some things, and I actually looked outside here, and I could see a bit of white on the ground still in the shade at 11 o'clock, and it was still frost on the ground. It wasn't much, but you can see a light cover of whiteness just up here because it's shady. Poppy, I can't have her in when I'm going live because she doesn't know what's going on, and she thinks, what's going on? She starts whinging, carrying on, and she wants to go out. And then the other night when she was in here, Liam let her in when he came home. He didn't know I was going live. And she was under the tripod, and I could see the camera moving. It's like she's under there playing with the tripod. But I'll tell you next time, when the weather warms up, and I'm going to do some outside stuff. I love doing it outside when it's warm, doing some videos. It's great to sit out there, and especially when you live in a cold place and you can get bloody warm outside in the sun. She'll be in the videos. But at the moment, she was in here before I started the live, and I kicked her out because I just can't have her in here because she'll start whinging, and then I've got to get up and let her out, and she carries on. Very muggy and hot. Well, that I don't like either. Here it doesn't, in my area it doesn't get too hot. It can get pretty hot, but it always cools down a bit at night, and it's nice. You don't have constant heat when it is summer. But at the moment, we had a bit of snow a couple of weeks ago, which surprised me that early. But it's been pretty good at the moment. It's just been cold the last few days. It's going to warm up a little bit more, which is good. There's so much on there that's coming off. So, and actually, Melanie, I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about it, but I've got another cat named Tyra. She's nothing like Poppy. She's not a furry one like that. And she's actually in here somewhere. She'll settle down. She even got up while halfway through the live, went over and had something to eat, and then went back to bed. But She doesn't seem to care if I look like I'm talking to myself. But Poppy sort of gets worried, like, what's going on? Who are you talking to? 15 degrees in North Queensland. Well, you won't need the fire on. Sorry, I missed that comment. It's further up. So anyway, you were saying about Poppy. She's quite good. She's funny. Like I was out there getting the wood out of the car. I just collect enough in my boot of my car, and she's out there playing around and jumping around, and she loves it when it's windy, and she's running in and out because I had the door open. She's fun, that cat, but she's not fun when she's inside and I'm trying to do a live because she always carries on. As soon as I'm finished, I'll go out and get some firewood, and she'll come running in. So she'll be right. Because she's so furry, she can stay out for a while anyway. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised, Peter, if it's naught at the moment, because I was about to say earlier, before I started talking about something else, you reminded me. See, it's so good you're here to help me. You should be my moderator. I was looking at my Crapple phone, and you know, probably Samsung's the same. But if you look at your weather, and you can scroll across and see each hour what the temperature is, and I can't remember what it was, because actually what I was looking for is because it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and I was looking for when's that going to start, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're close, sometimes they're wrong. And I think it was like 1 p.m. tonight it was going to start raining, 40% chance. But as I scrolled along, I'm seeing a lot of naught, naught, naught. It's like, seriously. And I knew it was going to be cold, but I think it will be a little bit warmer tomorrow. Yeah, my cat's like that too. She gets all upset, like, what's going on? Who are you talking to? She knows no one else is here. Actually, a couple of days ago, what I was just saying on the phone, I looked at the temperature like a few days ago, and for here, it was saying there was a thermometer, and it looked like, I don't know what it was. I've never seen it before, but and then the next time I looked, it was like a snowflake. And well, actually on my iPad, I looked and it was a snowflake. So Friday yesterday, apparently there was a good chance of snow. And I'll tell you, it was a beautiful day. It was nice and warm, but it was so bloody cold, especially in the shade. And in here, without the fire on, the fire went out on the night before. It was so cold I didn't want to get out of bed, and I didn't. I just slept in, but still got things done. But that changed. It didn't snow. It became sunny. But you never know. These temperatures, those forecasts, they try and forecast a week ahead, and you look at a week ahead and you think that's not what that said a couple of days ago when it gets to that day. So anyway, as long as it didn't snow, so that's all right. Because if it snows, I've got to get my car out of here because it gets snowed in for a couple of days. Decent burger, yeah. If I ever finish it, I tell you, I know I'm jabbering along a bit and talking, but the other thing is I'm full enough. I could leave that, but I'm not going to. I know I can finish it, and I'm not going to be overly full, but it is pretty tasty. So I could probably make them. I think Filet-O-Fish are like $5.20 or something. Put a little bit less sauce. I could make a profit on that, $5.20. Oh, do you get a lot of twisters and things like that in that area in Texas? Like what, hurricanes and because you're saying you're like in an alley, thunderstorms and all that. Probably get twisters and things like that, do you? And I would say, because even though we're in Australia, we see these things on the news. I would say California area would be like that too, because 1 minute it's snowing, then the next thing you know, it's bloody bushfires. It's so hot and bushfires. It sounds like a pretty dodgy place to live too if you're not, because the weather's so unpredictable. And then probably a bit of flooding too. Well, dude, I'll answer that question, and I'll ask you a question that zombie, that I've been asking everyone tonight. What does that mean? Do you know what that means? You answer my question, and then I'll answer yours. Although I don't know the answer to yours. Oh, maybe the Bermuda Triangle. Where's the Bermuda Triangle anyway? Oh, sorry, rectangular. Sorry, I don't know. But nice to have you here anyway, zombie. You're always entertaining. Maybe Peter can answer that question, because I've got no idea. So I think what's left of that fish, because I wanted to cook it all, the whole lot. There's still more in the packet. It's quite a big packet that I bought, but I wanted to cook it all while I'm cooking it because I defrosted it. The rest is in the freezer, so I don't have to worry about that. But what I might, like I was saying earlier, I might have a bit of a salad and fish with that, like fish with salad. I bought a Caesar salad kit, hoping to do a video with Liz tonight, but that didn't eventuate, so I came up with plan B, which was really plan A to start with. Um, so I've got to eat this Caesar salad thing. So I might have a Caesar salad with a fish, but I won't do a video about that probably. Oh, 20 times. Yeah, just like I actually have a few people that whose videos I watch, we subscribe to each other, and they're in California. And one woman in particular, she was doing a video and she said it hasn't stopped raining here. And then like I said, then you hear, like, you think, oh, it's pretty wet. It's all wet. And then when the weather warms up, all of a sudden there's these horrendous bushfires. It's like, man, flooding, bushfires. It's like I'm not laughing about that, but I mean, like, it's just unbelievable. And where I am here, even though you can get cold, you can get snow, you can get rain. Like, it hasn't been as bad in recent years, but when I first moved up here, it used to be like foggy and rainy all the time. It was like a really miserable sort of place. But if you're inside and you're warm, and like doing this, it's having fun. So, or if you're at work, but it's changed a little bit here, but it's still pretty cold. It can be still pretty cold, but it never gets too hot. You do have bushfires. That is one thing we do have to worry about sometimes. But in the whole time I've lived up here, at least 30 years, I've only ever had one bushfire that's been in my backyard, and the bushfire brigade stopped that, and everything was cool. Wasn't cool for some people, of course, but it does happen. But even last summer, we had no bushfires that were threatening. But Australia's a place like that too. You can have lots of bushfires depending on how much rain. Don't mention the drop bears. I won't. Yeah, well, like I said, we had when I was married with Liam's mum, and Liam was, I don't think he was born yet, or he might have been just little. We had a bushfire come along, and it came right into our backyard, and there was helicopters flying everywhere, and you could see it burning at the back. But they put it out like in that part, so it still was out of control in other areas. That was so scary. I thought, and the bushfire brigade are going, oh no, don't evacuate, just stay there. Everything's cool. There's bloody helicopters flying over, like really close. You could feel the wind. Anyway, that was a bit of a scare, but never had too much of that. No, not cyclones. Where I am here though, especially in winter, and it's been okay lately, like even though it's getting cold. And you hear about August winds, July winds. Well, they're called August winds, but they can be any time, July, August, September. But sometimes when it does get really cold like that and the wind comes up, I think my bloody roof's going to blow off. It's so windy. And because I am up the top of the mountain, so you're going to expect more, mist, more wind, like it gets more intense being closer to the sky. But and sometimes it's really bad. But I tell you, I'm at a stage now. I've been here that long. I was like, if the roof was going to come off this place, it would have come off a couple of years ago. So I don't think it's going anywhere. Don't worry about it. Go fishing. We are going to go fishing in when the weather gets warmer. There's probably a trout fishing and all that here. I know a few rivers, but I'm not the best freshwater fisher in the world. I've only ever caught one little trout when I first lived up here, and I used to go fishing a lot up here. I'm hopeless at it. Saltwater fishing, not so bad, because when I used to live in Sydney, I'd always be fishing in the salt water in the harbour and all that sort of thing. But freshwater, I've never been very good at it. Filet-O-Fish, Philo, we'll take Philo with us when we go fishing then. I have to find him. So anyway, those winds I was just talking about, they'll be along soon, and when they do come, it gets pretty intense, and it makes it a lot colder with the wind chill factor, and so many times it's really windy and you go outside and it's like, oh man, it's going right through you, but you just think, if that wasn't windy today, it wouldn't be anywhere like this. But you've got to put up with it. You want to live in a nice place, that's what happens. That's right, I remember that because at the time in 2011, if that's when it was, you're probably right, but especially the next suburb down, Medlow Bath, between Katoomba and Blackheath, and even a few here, that if you've ever been, and the Melanie you have, if you've been up here, they were like the biggest pine trees you've ever seen. And one of them, a few of them came down and just wreaked havoc, and especially on the railway line. One of them actually, I think the train was at Medlow Bar station or just pulling into the station. It came down and hit the train. Nobody was killed or injured too badly, but it was like, I think the rail was shut down for 2 days or something because of that. It is bloody freezing, and I was just saying earlier, I've been out all day, haven't put the fire on, and just before I went live, I thought it's going to get nice and warm in here, which it did, and now it's starting to die down a bit. So as soon as this is over, I'm going to put some wood on the fire. I was out getting a bit of firewood today. Yesterday was actually colder though. I was just saying earlier that they were sort of predicting sleet, snow sort of weather, but it turned out to be a beautiful day, but it was still bloody freezing in the shade. It's supposed to warm up a little bit. Actually, a bit of rain coming too, but if you can stay inside and you're warm or your workplace is warm, I mean, I used to work further down in a factory years ago and it was freezing. Like, you get there in the morning and there was frost all over the ground, no real heating in there, but you couldn't heat the place up. And then in summer it was boiling, but anyway, those days are over. Now I'm just in another crappy job where at least it's a bit more comfortable most of the time, as far as the weather goes. I think I heard about that because I think Liz went up, her mother lives in Brisbane area, so, and she's originally from up in Brisbane. And her mother moved down here a while ago, back down here for a while. They've sort of moved up and down a bit. And her mother went back up to Brisbane area, like actual CBD in that area sort of thing, like the outskirts. I'm not sure exactly where she is at the moment. But she was saying that before she went up, there was a flood in Queensland. So I'm sure that was affecting you as well. It was probably a cyclone or something. And she wasn't sure if she was going to go, but she went, and then she'd gone sort of at the end of it, so it wasn't too bad. She didn't get stuck trying to get up there, but yeah, I heard about that a while ago because she was going up there. Lithgow can be bloody freezing. I went up there today. It was actually not too bad there. If I do my KFC videos, which I did one today, or Macca's, most of the time that's where I'm going because I don't have one here, or those places here. Here at Katoomba, all there is what's it called? Subway, which I'm not that keen on. I don't like the way they do things there, and it's useless trying to get them to do anything for you. But Domino's and Subway is all that's at Katoomba, and McDonald's has been trying to get into Katoomba for years, but they want a big sign up and all that on the highway, and because it's a heritage area, people are against that, and they block it all the time. The council blocks it. They've offered them a shop front type thing in one of the supermarkets, but they won't take that. So anyway, I don't have those things here, but going up to Lithgow to do all that sort of stuff. And then Lithgow doesn't have a Hungry Jack, so when we go out further to Bathurst, then we do stuff like that. But there is one coming to Lithgow eventually. They're working on it now. Yeah, I believe it. I mean, and now again saying that, even though Liz is originally from Queensland, which is a very hot place, her father, who has passed away now, was actually come over from Canada. So over the years before I met her, she's actually gone to Canada a few times, and I hear her sometimes when she was ringing her uncle and auntie over there, who are quite elderly now. I think one of them's passed away now, but saying how cold it is and telling her the temperature's minus this and minus that. It's like, but not -1, -2, like -10, -15, -20. It's like, man, I don't know how people can live in that. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, this does cater to Katoomba does cater to tourists, and Lura, the next one before that, is even worse. It's like a trendy little tourist area. Even my area is a bit like that. But I mean, I'm quite happy. I thought you tried once before, and it didn't work. Yeah, there's a lot of Chinese there, and there's a lot of Chinese actually working there. Probably not just Chinese. There's a Korean restaurant which we went to a while ago. That was pretty good. But I tell you, man, I lived in Sydney and years ago, and just before I moved up from Sydney, you get your different races of people coming in, and I don't have a problem with that because I'm here now anyway. But Asians, Asian people, they were the people coming in, and then you see now it became islanders. It's always someone coming in, and up here you'd hardly see even people. That was the thing when I moved here years ago. But now it doesn't matter whether they're Chinese, whether they're Indian, no matter who they are, they all just blend in now. Like in Sydney, it's just not as big a thing, so it's not as many people. And you know, we're multicultural, so I guess we've got to accept that. So what the hell? Yeah, I've seen that some places do get -40. I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't know how people can live there. And actually, there's a guy I subscribed to a while ago, and I've got to get back to him and watch his stuff. He goes out on a lake that's actually frozen in winter, and he makes a hole in there, puts a little tent up, has a little gas burner in there to keep warm, and he goes ice fishing. It's unbelievable. They only catch little things, but they're pulling them out of the ice. I wouldn't think you'd be able to catch anything. Oh yeah, it wouldn't surprise me rounding up homeless people so they don't die. Here in Sydney, they have some occasion on like the Olympics, and they piss them all off out of the area so that they're not seen, and Sydney looks like a nice place because the politicians don't really give a shit about them. But at least they're not as cold here as in Canada. Richmond, Richmond. There's a place. Well, Richmond is actually. I'm pretty sure. Well, there is one in Victoria. There's also a Richmond here. If you drive down from here and go down to a place called Penrith, which is down the other way from Lithgow, going east, everything's at Penrith, and Richmond is not too much far behind. Not far behind that either. There is a place called Richmond further down, probably about 40 kilometres from here. Oh, I got what you meant, Mums. Yeah, Richmond. Yeah, Richmond is, and actually, well, I was talking earlier about a place we go fishing. Well, we actually go down towards Penrith, turn off at Springwood. I mean, I know you guys, most of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but we actually go through Richmond, and then there's all McDonald's and stuff there too, and then we go out across this place called the Wiseman's Ferry. And if we go fishing there, I'll show you guys. I'll get one of the boys to actually film it while I'm driving, and we've got to go across a car ferry to get across to the other side. It's not very wide, and then you go on this crappy little shitty road, and in the middle of nowhere, well, there's a few houses and things. And in the middle of nowhere, we stop at this spot and go fishing there. And on a good day, we do catch some fish, so it's unbelievable. But we love it there. Oh, it is, and I'll tell you, even I used to live down in Sydney, and I went down there with the boys last year, the end of last year, and took them fishing down in Sydney Harbour. But we went around a place called Darling Street, Balmain, and that sort of thing. Not right through the city, around the back. And we fished on the other side of the harbour. And even driving down there was a nightmare. But it had all changed so much. I used to be driving down there all the time when I was like in my 20s, and even in my 25, 30s, I went down there every now and then. But now it's so different. Yep, that'd probably be about right. 110 kilometres from Sydney. Pretty much the further the better. Although I don't want to go and live in Lithgow either. But Lithgow is good if you want to buy a lot of takeaway food. Hurstville, I know Hurstville. Not, I wouldn't say very well, but I know it. That's where you live. Okay. Well, Hurstville, that area when I lived down there, because we used to go fishing a lot down there, me and my mates. Hurstville, I never went over to very much, but I got to tell you, that was the first time I ever got in trouble with the police was in Hurstville. We got it. Me and my brother years ago. We used to get along really well when we were younger, and we knew these guys used to pinch cars. We never pinched cars, but we got this guy pulled up. We were walking along one night, and he said, "Oh, come for a drive with us," and because we didn't have cars yet or licenses, we were only about 16, 17, and we went for a drive with him, and we knew the car was stolen. We knew we were taking that risk being in the car, but what we didn't know was because he had a ute, he'd been out pinching stuff all night. The ute had a tarp over it, and he had all this stuff in there that he'd been stealing, and it was in the car. And and over at Hurstville, you'd probably know I didn't know the area that well, but there's this really big highway type part that goes like that. It's up and down, up and down. And he was flying along like an idiot, and the cops pulled us over, and they knew who he was. even in Hurstville, we lived nowhere near Hurstville, and they knew who he was. Oh, Peter, look, everywhere's a bit of a dive now. It just can't be helped. Even up here can be. But anyway, the cops pulled us over, and they took us to Hurstville Police Station. And I'd never been in trouble like that with the cops before. And back in those days, the cops used to bash you, and you used to hear stories about it, but I never experienced it. And in the room where they took him separately, they had me and my brother out here talking to us, but they were swearing at us and carrying on, intimidating us and everything, trying to make out that we knew that this was going on, that we've been helping him. So anyway, they had him in another room, and you used to hear about this thing where they used to use a phone book and punch you and all this sort of thing and bash you. I used to hear, oh, I mean, not used to hear, I could hear him going, oh, oh, like this, and I'm like, oh man, I'm next. And you could, because there was a petition there in the office, you could hear him banging up against the wall. They were bashing the crap out of him. But as they did in those days, doing it so there was no marks. He was known to the police. But anyway, we ended up going to court, got into a bit of a trouble, never went to the boys' home or anything, but he did. He was well known. He probably escaped from there and they put him back. That was like, and that sort of, in a way, was good because it snapped me out of. I never was even interested in stealing cars, but it snapped me out of getting in them with these guys because we knew a few guys that did it in those days, and we go for a little bit of a joyride with them. Never did it again. But in those days, the police were scary. Now, everyone just laughs, especially the kids. The guys, I got to say, even though Filet-O-Fish aren't supposed to be a big burger, they were pretty big for a Filet-O-Fish, but I'm not overly full. I feel good, so that's plenty of food. I won't eat any more for tonight. I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, I've got to say I've never been. That was the only time I really got into trouble with the cops, and I was probably only about 17 then. But never had any problem. Never. I had friends that were doing drugs and stealing cars. Well, eventually they became not friends because they were just people you couldn't even talk to anymore. Never did any of that stuff. I did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but nothing too serious. But those guys, half of them are probably dead now. Well, it will be now because the fire's going out a bit. Like I said, I've got to get it go. If it's gone right out, I'll have to get it going again, but I'm sure I can get it going. Got plenty of firewood, so that's a good thing. But I do have to put it back on because I don't want to get too cold. Oh, there is. There's so much corruption. I mean, I heard our Prime Minister, who just got elected not long ago, as soon as he got in, a week or two later, he's given himself a pay rise and all his mates. So, and I've had money taken off me where I work, and no one really does anything about it. So, anyway, we all know that. I don't know why we keep voting them in. We should just not vote for them and see what happens. Hardened fella, and I wouldn't say that. I found out the hard way not to get into stolen cars anymore. Well, I used to probably fish around there a little bit. Like I said, I don't know Hurstville that well, and I would assume, okay, if I can remember, Sans Souci is sort of in that area going towards Hurstville, Cogra, Hurstville, I think. But we used to go sometimes to Sans Souci, Brighton Les Sands, do a bit of fishing there, but it wasn't sort of an area we go to too much. We'd just go every now and then. It was a bit hard to get to from where we were. Used to go to La Perouse a little bit, do a little bit of fishing there. I sort of went everywhere, but depends who was around. Even when I first moved up here, because I did love fishing in those days, and I used to do a bit of it before I moved up, I'd still go down on the weekend and just go even fishing by myself because I knew the areas a bit. Yeah, where is the marijuana party when you needed them? Like Liz told me, you should vote for some animal rights party. I forget who they were, but I just said to her, yeah, and they won't get in, and then it goes to one of these assholes who I don't want to vote for. So that's not going to happen. They're never going to get in, and the preferences go to someone that you don't want to go in. So I just tell you the truth, guys. I just went there, got my name signed off. I've told you this story in the past, and I've been doing this for a while. Got my name ticked off, pretended to vote, and put it in blank because I have no faith in anyone. I don't even have faith in the people I work for. I don't have faith in my politicians. So they don't deserve my vote because they're not doing anything for me. When they do something for me, which they used to do more in the old days, then they'll get my vote. I tell you, Peter, I don't get involved in politics, but I will have no idea what happened there. But, something does have to change eventually. We all know that. But as long as people keep voting for these two parties that just keep screwing everyone over, it wouldn't matter which one got in. Nothing's really going to change. It's only going to keep getting worse. But, you know, until people snap out of it and think, they're not really doing anything for us. Well, I can understand myself, whether Trump's doing a good job or not, I understand the desperation why people voted him in. And I could see that, like I said, I'm not into politics, but I was watching that because I actually put money on him winning because it was good odds. And I don't bet very often but on anything. But I thought, if he wins, I'm going to make a bit of money out of this. But because of that, I was keeping an eye on it, on the election polls and all that sort of thing when it was happening. And it's like he won because people are desperate. Whether he's good or bad or indifferent, he's there for the right reasons. He's trying to do a good job. Even if it's his way, he is trying to help the people. And I can see that, and I can see why people put someone different in because they're desperate. They need a change. Whether it works or not, that's another thing. But it was about desperation. And we're going to get like that here too because we're only a little bit behind America. And we're already getting desperate. Yeah, well, like ScoMo, I mean, I call him Slow-Mo because he's like everything. All it is in slow motion. All they do is talk. They tell you what they've done for you, but you don't see the results. And even if there is some result, when do you see it? How long does it take? So anyway, like I said, I'm not into politics. They're going to have to get someone really good in there to get my vote because until I die, I'll never vote for any of these clowns if they're not doing anything for us. All they're doing it is for themselves and their family. So screw them because they screw us. No, well, I understand that too. And I mean, like I said, I don't know much about American politics, but I could see myself here as an outsider what was going on. When you're in the middle of something, sometimes you can't see what's going on. But we're outsiders here, and we could see, well, I could see that why the people voted for a certain person. And I mean, my thing is if you look at Hillary, The fact that she put up with someone who cheated on her makes her weak. Even that is enough for me not to vote for her. And he should have, and Bill Clinton, to me, should have been impeached. They talk about Trump. He did this, he did that. Well, he's done nothing while he's been there to be impeached. That man did it while he was in office, and this woman supported him and still stayed with him. So that probably backfired on her in the end, and that doesn't surprise me. But like I said, I get their desperation. I get why they want someone who they think will do something for them, and hopefully he will. I do hope that he does. And the thing is, if you look at it, he's got nothing to gain out of it because he's already a billionaire. He doesn't need the money. So, that just speaks volumes to me. Probably not. I don't know, because once I won the bet, all I do now, and even here in Australia, I know that people in America, whether they support Trump or not, they're not game enough to say even his name because there'll be a backlash against them. Even here that happens. I talked to someone at work who is right into politics. He loves politics. He probably should have been a politician. And as soon as I mention Trump, I get an earful. So I don't mention him. It actually happens here too, believe it or not. You test it out. You go and talk to someone about Trump tomorrow, if you're in Australia, and someone who you think you can talk to about politics, and you see what happens. I don't even talk about politics. I try to avoid politics because I just don't want to know. Like I said, until someone is there that looks like they will actually do something for us. And I mean, then you got to look at the other side of our politics. Bill Shorten lost, so he ran away crying. And now we've got a new guy again, like him, who we don't know who the hell he is. And we probably won't know even if he's there at the next election. So again, Liberal will win. Anyway, like I said, well, I don't know if Trump's awesome. I haven't been following it, but it turns out, it seems that a lot of people aren't even, unless you're a hardcore person that doesn't care what people think about you, most people won't say that they voted for Trump. From what I hear anyway, if you're American. But if you did, and you're willing to stand by your convictions, that's fine, that's good. I would never say you voted for the wrong person. I'm not an expert, I don't know. So and then to say that, I mean, I'm concerned what's happening here at the moment. What's happening in America doesn't affect me in that way because I don't live there. We're becoming that it's affecting us because nothing's happening for us either. If anything, it's getting worse instead of better. It's supposed to at least be good. It's supposed to be the lucky country. And, I can go down to a place anytime I like and find homeless people sleeping in a park. I know the place. It's not hard to find. And if you didn't know, there's going to be people sleeping homeless everywhere. And you never hear the politicians talk about that. They don't want to know about that. It will cost them money to fix that. Money that they won't get. Well, exactly. He must be a smart man even before he was a president because he's doing pretty good. And good for him. Like he's earned that, he's done that. That's good. And for anyone, but anyway, like I said, I'm not a political person. I don't like to get into that sort of thing. And in a lot of time, and really it's because I don't follow it. I don't really know what I'm talking about. All I know is what affects me. And there's plenty affecting me, and I'm doing reasonably well compared to some people. Some people are doing better than me, but there's a lot of people that are under us. And if it continues, my son will be like that, and everyone will be like that because there will be no, like, middle class. There'll be just upper and lower, and that's it. Anyway, guys, I wasn't expecting it to be too full on, but I mean, I do really get my back up a bit when I talk about politics, even whether I know what I'm talking about or not. Like I said, all I know is things are getting even worse for me, and it's like, why? Why is this happening? But the thing is, Peter, my wage has lowered, and I haven't had a pay rise in years, and I got a pay rise. And then they decided they didn't want us to get that money, so they changed our rosters around, and then I lost money. So what I'm actually am now is back to not having a pay rise and around the same amount that I was getting before I had a pay rise. But what I'm getting at here is because the union does nothing, we actually brought the union in. The union does nothing, work cover does nothing. Nobody does anything anymore because it's too much of an effort. And these people slowly and slowly, these companies and politicians get away with stuff more and more, and we become less and less. So that's my problem anyway. So I haven't actually had my wage lowered. I got a pay rise and I went back to what I originally was. So I don't know how that works. I'm baffled. Well, actually, I was paying the union fees, and again, like the politicians, I don't see any results. I don't see them come in. And a couple of years ago, I quit them because unions used to be a powerful thing. They used to be something. We used to be able to go out on strike. Now you've got to give notice. But I quit the union, and people even then said to me, "Well, but it's tax deductible." And I said to them, "But why pay someone money who is not doing anything for you, whether I get it back or not? Why pay somebody who isn't doing their job?" And they weren't doing their job. They're still not doing their job. And even now, someone was telling me the union that we're in, people are absolutely hammering them on Facebook, telling people not to join. And I was hoping that would happen. I was going to do it myself, but I never got around to it because I'm too busy doing this stuff. But if I go in there and find that thing, I'll be right on board with that because they've done nothing for years. And they used to be very strong and very powerful and kept these people in check. Now, nothing. We don't need a union anymore. You might as well not have one. Good. And you know, when I quit, I rang them up and I said, "How do I quit the union?" And they said, "Just send us an email, do this, do that." And then they said, "Oh, but did you know, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Dude, I just want to quit. I don't want to know about it. I am not joining. I'm not continuing to give you guys money. I'm out." He said, "Okay, fair enough." Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not really that into it. I don't follow things. I know people, one person in particular I know, very intelligent man. He could probably run for politics. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to talk about stuff like that. And he does study all this stuff. He loves it. But when we get together, if politics comes up, I try not to talk to him about it because I don't know what I'm talking about most of the time. Like I said, all I know is what's affecting me, what's affecting my son, what's affecting people around me that I know. And when I see people sitting in a park, in a freezing park, in the middle of winter with no home to go to, that's wrong. And they should, and I think everyone, whether you're rich, poor, or homeless, everyone should have the right to food, shelter, and warmth, like the basics. And if you haven't got the basics, then something's wrong. And some of these people can't fend for themselves, can't work, can't do this, and nobody, well, I'm not saying nobody cares, but the people who can do something about it don't seem to care. Yeah. Yeah, well. Anyway, guys, this is getting so political. It's like I've got to start laughing now, otherwise I'll cry. Well, I'll tell you something though. Like I'm not going to harp on about politics or unions or whatever now, but me and Liam, my son, you know who he is, most of you guys. We talk about stuff like this before in the past, and before I had my channel, I was saying we should do something like this. We should make a mockery of politics and make up all these names and take the piss out of them and that sort of thing. We never did that. I wouldn't do it anyway. But it was just ideas you start coming up with when you don't have a channel and you want to do YouTube. But also, we used to talk about stuff like this a bit, even though he's a teenager. Now I have the chance to do it. I don't because I don't see the point. I am not going to change anything. Let's just put it that way. It wouldn't matter if there was 1,000 people watching this right now. I'm really not going to change anything. What's going to change things is how people vote, how you do these things in the like to send the message out to these people. Not joining unions if they're no good. There probably are some good unions out there that might help you, but it's not in the area that I'm in. So until and I'm one person. What it needs to be is a collective. And if you're at work and you're getting screwed over, and everyone starts just giving in, and you're the last one, which almost is what happened with me. They just came to me last. You got to stand together. If you don't stand together, you're going to achieve nothing. So anyway, like I said, I'm not a big political person. Seven? I've never seen a star. Man, you've been counting my stars. You know, saying that, I've never noticed that before, even when I was at school. That's very observant of you. Now I'm going to always look at that flag and think, why does that only have 5 stars on that one? That's how Aussie I am. I call myself too Aussie and I don't even know that. Anyway, too Aussie is a bit of a joke anyway. It's just a bit of a muck around name because I've talked about it a bit in the past, but with the too Aussie thing, it's like with any nationality. You hear some people might be American, they might be Australian, they could be New Zealand, and you hear their accent is actually a bit exaggeratable. I think that anyway. And Liz knew someone who had a really exaggerated Aussie accent, and she said to me that she calls that person too Aussie because she sounds too Aussie. And then Liam would have a joke about it. I'd tell him about that too Aussie. I'd hear her on the phone and I'd hear her in the background at her work, and she'd say to me, and Liam would say to me, "Oh, you can never be too Aussie." That's why I say that at the end. It's all just like everything. I mean, I know the political stuff got a bit serious then, but I'm here to have fun too. I'm not here to be serious. I mean, this is an outlet. It's fun. You guys can get on here, have some fun. And saying that too, at least we haven't had any dramas tonight from people carrying on like twits, but it's been good. And with the too Aussie thing, I'm not. I don't consider myself too Aussie. I just consider myself Aussie. And some people, you know, they do go a bit overboard and exaggerate with their accents and all the rest of it. But it's fun. You know, it's just a fun name. Muck around. Well, now saying that, like I was never good at school. I never bothered with studying all that stuff. And actually, I haven't been putting any. I've got a couple of flags that I haven't put up yet because they're too small and they don't really fit. And I'm like, I'm getting over the flag thing. I'm just thinking, I'll just put the Aussie flag up from now on. But I bought, I think it was a Spanish flag, and it turned up yesterday or the day before at the post office. And I remember what did come into my head was I remember when you were at school, and any of you Aussies here would probably remember that when you were at school, you had to sometimes draw the flag, or like or even just draw the Union Jack. And I saw this Spanish flag, and I thought, imagine if you were at school and you had to draw that. It's so intricate. I couldn't believe it. But I doubt they had to draw it. They probably just had photocopies of it in Spain. But anyway, you probably still do that now at school when you do history. You maybe draw a flag or something like that. Yeah, it could be. Like I said, I might be too Aussie, but I'm not really too Aussie. I don't I don't know about these things. I guess the only way to do like Peter says sometimes, or he said it already there. I didn't notice. Google it. Yeah, I'll Google it. I'll let you know. Yeah, it probably is. I don't know. Like I said. Anyway, guys, I've been jabbering on a bit here, and it's starting to get a bit chilly. I think I will end the live here now, and I'll better get my fire going again. I'm nice and full, feel very happy, even though we went on a bit about politics. I'm very happy today. I've been very content. Done a few things I needed to get done. Got a few things done yesterday, so I'm very happy. So, okay, fair enough. I'll take your word for that one. Like I said, I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end it up here now. Thank you very much for coming in tonight. It's been great fun. And remember, you can never be too Aussie. Hooroo. Even hooroo's something I don't usually say, but I do now. Bye bye.